Hello, friends, and welcome to Kurt Berglund's Baseball World. It's time to continue the 1981 playoff replay Kurt Berglund style. We are in round number one. These are best of three tilts, and I love the best of three. Love it. Pressure on every roll of the dice. We are in Kansas City on the carpet at Royal Stadium. Where the Oakland A's are taking on the Kansas City Royals before the series shifts to Oakland for games 2 and, if necessary, game 3. The pitching matchup today, a couple of right-handers that you know. It's Mike Norris for the visiting Oakland A's against Leonard for the homestanding Kansas City Royals. Should be a good one. Now, I'm using the as-played lineups, my friends, from game 1 of their division series that happened in real life, or as the kids like to say, IRL. Don't know if I'm going to continue with that for game 2 or not. We'll see. The rosters are the same as they were in the playoffs because, frankly, I'm not very original. So, with no further ado, let's take a quick look at the records and do the starting lineups and get rolling. Game 1 of this best of 3 series between the Royals and the Athletics. In the description for this video are a couple of big links. The first one is the link to the Sideline Strategies website where you can check out all of the payoff pitch offerings. That link is in the description for this video, as is the link to channel membership. With channel membership to my channel, you get access to members-only videos, discounts in the secondary store, and a free gift from me every month. It's a great value. Check that out. That link is available in the description for this video as well. All right, here we go with Athletics at the Royals. Now, you might be asking yourself, why are these two teams playing? And the reason is that it's the 4-seed Royals against the number 1 seed Athletics. You've already seen on my channel game 1 of the series between the Rangers and the White Sox. I won't spoil that for you. But I will say that if you get a chance to watch this real-life series, of course, the real-life series was best of 5, I was stunned as I watched the series how much better the Athletics looked than the Royals. The Royals looked like they did not belong on the same field with Oakland. So we'll see how it goes, see if that holds true. In real life, the records were 64 and 55 on the entire 1981 season. For Oakland, for Kansas City, 50 and 53. All right, here are your batting orders for the visiting Oakland A's. Ricky Henderson leads off in left. Dwayne Murphy bats second and center. Keith Drumright bats third. He's the DH. Tony Armas bats fourth. He's in right. Wayne Gross bats fifth. He's at third. Jim Spencer bats sixth. He's at first. Mike Heath bats seventh. He's catching. Dave McKay bats eighth. He'll play second base. Fred Stanley bats ninth. He'll play short. And on the mound, it's Mike Norris. In the 1981 season, Mike Norris was 12 and 9 with a 3.75 earned run average. For the homestanding Royals, Willie Wilson leads off. He'll play left field. Frank White bats second at second base. George Brett bats third at third. Willie Aikens bats fourth at first base. Amos Otis bats fifth. He'll play center. Hal McRae bats sixth. He's the DH. Clint Hurdle bats seventh. He will be in right. John Watson bats eighth. He'll catch. And UL Washington bats ninth. He will be the shortstop. All right, we're ready to go in this one. And here we go with Ricky Henderson stepping in the batter's box against Leonard. And Henderson swings, and he lines that one. That's going to be a base hit to center field. Amos Otis collects it and gets it back in. And Ricky, I have a feeling, is going to be off to the races. Here's Dwayne Murphy. The stretch checking Wathan's throwing arm here. Well, the stretch and the delivery by Leonard, and there indeed goes Ricky Henderson, and he is off to the races. The throw from Wathan down to shortstop UL Washington is late, and Ricky's got a stolen base. He's at second base. Dwayne Murphy behind in the count, 0-1. The next delivery, and now Murphy draws a walk. There are 2 on now with nobody out in the first inning. This is not the start that Royals manager Dick Hauser had in mind. Leonard the stretch, and the pitch to DH Keith Drumright. And Drumright with a pop-up on the infield. That's UL Washington calling and taking for out number 1. Tony Armas up there now. Leonard the stretch, the pitch to Armas. Swung on by Tony, and this one is hit to UL at short. UL goes to White for 1, and the relay to Willie Aikens is in time for a rally-killing, soul-crushing 6-4-3 double play turned by the Royals. And the Athletics get nothing after a promising start. The Royals coming to bat in the bottom of the first. Here's Mike Norris facing Willie Wilson. The windup by Norris and the delivery to Willie is swung on by Wilson, and that is hit in the air to center, not where Wilson wants to hit it. Dwayne Murphy under it, and he makes the catch for out number 1. Frank White up there now. Norris kicks and deals to White. And Frank swings and hits this one to right. Tony Armas in the right center field gap is going to run this one down for out number 2. George Brett now with nobody on. Norris kicks and deals. Norris to Brett, and that's popped up. Fred Stanley in short center field is calling and taking for out number 3. So after 1 is complete and in the books, both teams have what the little boy shot at. Nothing. All right, Gross, Spencer, and Heath coming up for the Athletics in inning number 2. Leonard winds and delivers. And Gross pops it up. Foul territory. John Wathan off with the mask. He makes the catch for out number 1. Jim Spencer up there now. Leonard winds and delivers to Spencer, and he takes ball 4. The Athletics have a 1-out runner at first. And Mike Heath, the catcher, comes to the plate. The Royals infield moves to double play depth. The stretch by Leonard in the delivery. Heath hits one on the ground to Frank White. Frank White gloves it. He's going to go to Washington for 1 in the relay to Aikens. Not in time. Heath safe at first on the fielder's choice, and that'll bring up second baseman Dave McKay. Leonard the stretch and the pitch to McKay. Hey, struck him out. He got him with the cheese, and that'll retire the Athletics in inning number 2. Bottom of the second inning is on the way, and your score is Oakland nothing and Kansas City nothing. In a best-of-3 series, every pitch is big. So, yeah, I'm going to leave that on. There we go. All right, the delivery from Norris to Aikens is swung on by Willie. We're going to need our ballpark card for this one, and that is going to be a wheelhouse result for Willie Aikens. He swings and lines a rope that's going to be a base hit to right. Tony Armas collects it and gets it back in, and the Royals have a good start in their second inning. Amos Otis at the plate. Norris the stretch and the delivery, and another hanger by Norris. And this will be a wheelhouse for Amos Otis. Amos with a base hit. Let's see if Aikens is going to go to third. No, he's going to stop at second. It drops in front of Armas, who's got that cannon for an arm. 2 are on with nobody out in the second for Hal McRae. The stretch by Norris and the delivery to McRae. Swung on by Hal and hit to left. This is going to drive Henderson back a few steps, but he's got room and puts it away for out number 1. Akins holds on at second. Hurdle at the plate now. The Kansas City right fielder. The stretch by Norris and the delivery to Clint Hurdle is a ground ball hit to Dave McKay at second. McKay goes to Stanley for 1, and that's all they're going to get. Hurdle is safe at first. Otis is wiped out 4-6. And Akins goes to third. So the Royals have men at the corners now with 2 outs and John Wathan at the plate. UL Washington would be next. The stretch by Norris and the delivery is swung on by Wathan and bounced to Dave McKay at second. McKay gloves it and flips to first baseman Jim Spencer, and that will retire the Royals in inning number 2. So both teams have 2 innings in the books, and both teams have no runs. We go to the third, and it'll be Fred Stanley, Ricky Henderson, Dwayne Murphy. The wind and the delivery by Leonard. And Stanley strikes out on a Dennis Leonard bender. 1 down in the third. Ricky Henderson comes to the plate. Leonard deals to Ricky. And Henderson hits one to center. Back a few steps is Amos Otis, but he's got room in front of the track and makes the catch for out number 2. Dwayne Murphy now with nobody on. The pitch by Leonard. And Murphy swings, and a base hit for Dwayne Murphy. This goes to center field. Amos Otis takes it on 1 hop and gets it back in. Murphy on with Drumright coming to the plate. And they might send him. The stretch by Leonard, and there goes Murphy. The throwdown from Wathan to UL Washington is late, and Murphy steals second base. He's in scoring position. 2 outs. Next delivery from Leonard to Drumright. Swung on by Keith, and it's a grounder to UL at short. He charges, throws on the run, and they get Drumright at first. So the Athletics threaten in the third, but fail to score. We go to the bottom of 3. Oakland 0, Kansas City 0. In the Kansas City third inning, it's going to be UL Washington, Willie Wilson, and then Frank White. Norris deals to UL, and we're going to have a rare play check. So we have a tough result with the bases empty. So let's see what we have here. A 91. Foul tip hits catcher in a tender spot. Not going to play injuries, so we'll just skip it. All right. Here comes the next delivery to UL Washington. That'll be a defense check. It's a range at the kitchen. Oh my God, I smell gas. It's a range check. Shortstop range check. That is Fred Stanley. Stanley, and I'm going to roll the D10s again. That's just what I do. I know it's crazy because I know the D10s have a roll, but I just do that. Stanley is a C on the range. So 53 or better, he's going to make this play, and he does, to Jim Spencer for out number 1. Willie Wilson up there now. He's 0 for 1. Mike Norris winds and deals to Willie. And that's going to be a base hit for Wilson. A little blooper to Short right field. Armas can't quite get there. Wilson's aboard. All right. Chance for Wilson to do some running. Heath has a good arm. Frank White at the plate. The stretch by Norris and the delivery. There goes Willie. The throwdown by Heath to Dave McKay is in time, and they throw out Willie Wilson. White up there now with nobody on base. The pitch. Swung on by Frank and hit in the air to right. Over by the foul line is Tony Armas, and he's got it for out number 3. 3 innings in the books. Your score is Oakland 3 and Oakland nothing and Kansas City nothing. Leonard will face Armas, Gross, and Spencer in the Oakland 4th. The wind and the delivery popped up by Armas. In short right field, Frank White is calling and taking for out number 1. Wayne Gross is up there now. He's 0 for 1. Leonard kicks and deals, and he struck out Gross on the broccoli cauliflower medley. Gas. 2 outs, nobody on. Jim Spencer, the Oakland first baseman, is up there now. The wind and the delivery. Spencer lifts one in the air to right. Clint hurdled back a couple of steps, but he's got room and makes the catch for out number 3. 3.5 complete. No score in Kansas City. It'll be Brett, Akins, and Otis, the meat of Dick Hauser's order in the bottom of the 4th. Norris kicks and delivers. It is hit to center in the right center field gap. Dwayne Murphy on the run makes a running catch for out number 1. Nice play by Murphy. Here's Akins. Norris deals to him. He walked him. 1 on with 1 out for Kansas City in the 4th. Amos Otis is 1 for 1, and he's up there now. Oakland is looking for a double play ground ball. Norris, the stretch and the delivery. Hey, struck him out. He got him on that Mike Norris screwball. First strikeout for Norris. Akins still at first, and Hal McRae comes to the plate. The stretch by Norris. The pitch to McRae is bounced to the third. Gross to his left. Gloves it and goes the short way to Dave McKay to retire the side. We go to the 5th, and your score is Oakland nothing and Kansas City nothing. Bottom third of the Oakland order coming up in inning number 5. This is Payoff Pitch Baseball. All right, Dennis Leonard will deal to Mike Heath. And Heath lines a base hit. This goes to left field, where Willie Wilson will grab it on a hop and get it back in. Dave McKay comes to the plate. See what Billy Martin wants to do here. The stretch by Leonard and the pitch to Dave McKay, and he squares to bunt. He gets it down, back to Leonard. Leonard looks at second, but fires to White, covering at first. The sacrifice moves Heath up to second base, and Fred Stanley comes to the plate. Leonard the stretch. The pitch to Stanley is going to be a ground ball hit to Brett at third. He gloves it by the third base bag and fires across the diamond to Willie Akins for out number 2. Heath has to hold at second, and Ricky Henderson comes up. Oakland with a chance to break out on top, but they need a clutch hit from Henderson. Stretch by Leonard, the delivery. And Henderson swings and hits a comebacker to Dennis Leonard. He takes a couple steps toward Akins and throws him the ball for out number 3. We are halfway through this one, and we have decided nothing. Your score is Oakland 0 and Kansas City 0. Norris will face the bottom third of the Royals order. In the bottom of the 5th, Hurdle, Watson, and Washington. The windup and the delivery by Mike Norris is ball 4 to Clint Hurdle. Now we'll see what manager Dick Hauser has in mind. Watson comes to the plate. The stretch and the delivery, runner not going, and this will be a defense check for an error check for Fred Stanley. Fred Stanley's error rating is a 5. So let's see if Fred makes this play. He does make the play. Now, it's a ground ball to Stanley. He gloves it. He's going to flip to McKay for 1, and the relay back to Jim Spencer is in time for a rally-killing, soul-crushing 6-4-3 double play turned by the Athletics. And that'll bring up UL Washington with nobody on base. The wind and the delivery by Norris. He struck out UL, and he got him on that high cheese. 2 strikeouts for Norris. The Royals are done in the 5th. We go to inning number 6. And your scores, the Athletics nothing and the Royals nothing. Murphy, drum right, and Armas coming up 2-3-4 for Billy Martin in inning number 6. Dennis Leonard kicks and delivers. And hey, struck out Dwayne Murphy, took him up the ladder. That is strikeout number 4 for Dennis Leonard on the day. Keith Drumright up there now, he's 0 for 2. Leonard deals to Drumright. And Drumright with a comebacker to Leonard. He gloves it, throws to Akins, and there's 2 away. Tony Armas now. He's 0 for 2. Leonard kicks and delivers. Armas struck him out. He didn't come within 3 feet of that bender. And it's strikeout number 5 for Dennis Leonard. The Athletics are done in the 6th. We go to the bottom of 6. No score in Kansas City. Top of the order coming for the Royals in the bottom of the 6th is Wilson, White, and Brett. The windup and the delivery by Norris is hit in the air to right. Dying Quail. Here comes Armas, and he's got it for out number 1. Frank White, the Royals' second baseman, is up there now. Norris winds and deals. And White with a base hit. This goes to center field. Dwayne Murphy gets it back in there. The Royals have a man on with 1 out. George Brett at the plate. Double play depth for the Athletics infield. Brett is 0 for 2. Norris, the stretch and the delivery. And Brett pops it up. Dave McKay calling and taking for out number 2. That's a big out. And Willie Akins comes to the plate. Norris, the stretch and the pitch to Willie. And hey, struck out Akins. The cheese. 3rd strikeout for Mike. Shuts down the Royals in the 6th. We've got a 3-inning ball game. Your score is Oakland nothing, Kansas City nothing. Gross, Spencer, and Heath coming up in the Oakland 7th inning. The wind and the delivery by Leonard. Hey, struck out Gross. Leonard all of a sudden has his strikeout pitch working. He has struck out 3 of the last 4 Oakland hitters. Now it's Spencer. We fly to Oakland after the game for Game 2. The pitch is strike 3 called. Spencer's gone on strikes. 2 down in the 7th. Mike Heath at the plate. He's 1 for 2. Leonard kicks and delivers. Defense check. This will be a range track out to the kitchen. Range track. George Brett. His range is a B. 43 to 99. He's going to make that play, and he does for out number 3 in the 7th. Dennis Leonard matching Mike Norris pitch for pitch. It's time to stretch him out in Kansas City. Past the barbecue. We go to the bottom of the 7th, and your score is Oakland 0 and Kansas City 0. Otis, McRae, and Hurdle coming up in the Royals 7th inning. Game 2 starters will be Langford and Gura in Oakland. All right. Here's Amos. He's 1 for 2. The wind and the delivery. And he struck him out. Norris with a Scroogey. 4 strikeouts for Mike. Hal McRae, the DH, comes up now. Norris kicks and deals. And McRae bounces one to Stanley at short. Fred charges, throws on the run, and they get McRae by a step at first. 2 down in the 7th. Here's Clint Hurdle. 0 for 1 with a walk. Norris kicks and delivers. And Hurdle grounds one to Gross at third. To his left. He plants, throws to Spencer, and the Royals are out in the 7th. We go to the 8th. And we still have no score in Kansas City. McRae, Stanley, and Henderson due up for Billy Martin in the Oakland 8th inning. Well, McKay will bat. Dennis Leonard kicks and deals. Swung on by McKay and popped up. John Wathen off with the mask and makes the catch for out number 1. Could hit for Stanley here. Let's take a look at the bench, shall we? I'm not really loving my options. Could go to Cliff. Yeah, I think I will. Cliff Johnson's going to bat for Fred Stanley. And while I do that, Dan Quisenberry is going to get up in the Royals bullpen. So Johnson will pinch hit for Stanley here in the 8th with 1 out. He is, of course, a major long ball threat. Dennis Leonard winds and deals to Cliff, who swings and hits one to left and deep. Back goes Willie Wilson on the track. He makes the catch for out number 2. One more biscuit for breakfast, and Cliff Johnson puts Oakland on the board, but no. All right, coming up now is Piccolo. Henderson kicks and delivers. Leonard kicks and delivers. Coming up now is Ricky Henderson. I'll get it right, don't worry. Leonard kicks and delivers, and he struck him out. Dennis Leonard has now retired 12 Oakland Athletics in a row. He's throwing a 3-hitter, all of them singles. Now we'll get Piccolo in the game. He will become the new shortstop and bat on the number 9 spot in the order. All right, I managed to get that out. And here comes Mike Norris for inning number 8 as Dennis Leonard is just getting better. All right. It'll be Wathen, Washington, and Wilson coming up for the Royals in the bottom of the 8th. Mike Norris winds and delivers to John Wathen, and there's a no. It's a line drive caught by a leaping Rob Piccolo. 1 down in the Royals' 8th. UL Washington comes to the plate. Norris winds and delivers. And Washington bounces one to McKay at second. Weakly hit. He flips to Spencer, and there's 2 away in the Royals' 8th. Here's Willie Wilson. Mike Norris winds and delivers to Willie. And a base hit for Willie Wilson. This drops in front of left fielder Ricky Henderson, and Wilson is aboard. 2 outs, man at first. Willie Wilson a threat to steal. Let's see how many he stole in 81. He stole 34 bases. Frank White at the plate. The stretch by Norris, and there goes Willie Wilson. The throwdown by Mike Heath, and they get Willie for the 2nd time in the game, and that'll end the Royals' 8th. Willie Wilson shot down trying to steal 2nd. We go to the 9th, and we are still scoreless in Kansas City. It'll be Murphy, Drumright, and Armas coming up for Billy Martin. In the Oakland 9th, Dan Quisenberry is ready for the Royals in the bullpen. Murphy is 1 for 2. The wind and the delivery by Dennis Leonard is swung on by Murphy and hit to center, into left center. On the run is Amos. He's got it for out number 1. That is 13 in a row retired by the Kansas City right-hander. Keith Drumright's 0 for 3. He's up there now. Leonard kicks and deals. That is going to be swung on by Drumright and bounced to third to the left of Brett. He cuts it off from getting into left field, plants and throws to Akins for out number 2. Tony Armas comes to the plate. 14 in a row retired by Leonard. Armas is 0 for 3. The wind and the delivery to the Oakland right fielder. Swung on by Armas. Did he get it? It is caught in left field, and he bangs into the wall. Willie Wilson holds on and makes the catch for out number 3. Ooh-wee. Armas almost put Oakland in front on that one, but no. We go to the bottom of the 9th, and your score, Oakland 0, Kansas City 0. Any old kind of a run is going to win it for the Royals. Mike Norris is out there. The Oakland bullpen is silent. Billy Martin letting it ride with Mike Norris. The wind and the delivery to Frank White. Hit in the air to right, not deep. Armas pounds the glove and makes the catch for out number 1. George Brett at the plate. Norris kicks and delivers to Brett. He walked him. The Royals have a base runner. With 1 out, here comes Willie Akins with plenty of power. Well, Brett stole 14. They got some choices here. They do have choices. The stretch by Norris. Akins is 1 for 2. Amos Otis on deck. The stretch by Norris and the delivery to Willie is hit to second. Dave McKay. McKay gloves it. Goes to Piccolo for 1, and the relay to Spencer in time for a soul-crushing, rally-killing 4-6-3 double play turned by the Athletics. And we are going to have an extra inning ball game today. We go to the 10th, and your score, Oakland 0 and Kansas City 0. Yowzers. Gross, Spencer, and Heath, unless Billy Martin goes to the bench, are due up for Oakland in the top of the 10th. 3 hits allowed by Leonard, 5 hits allowed by Norris. The wind and the delivery by Dennis Leonard pitching the 10th. Swung on by Gross. And this is going to be a base. No, it's caught by Frank White. A dying quail, but White gets there and hangs on for out number 1. Spencer up. He's 0 for 2. Leonard kicks and delivers. Jim Spencer drills one, and this is going to be extra bases at 1. Hops the center field wall. Otis has to run it down. Spencer around first. He's into second. With the first extra base hit of the game, it's a 1-out double in the 10th. Now we're going to get a runner for Spencer at second base. Let's see who Billy wants to use here. That is going to be Rick Bosetti. Rick Bosetti will run for Spencer at second with the potential first run of the game. Mike Heath comes to the plate. Well, all right. Leonard, they're going to pull him. They're going to pull him here and bring in Quisenberry. So let's tell you about Dennis Leonard's day. He goes 9 1/3 innings, 4 hits. He walked 1. He struck out 8. At one point, he retired 16 Oakland batters in a row. But he's done, and you can stick a fork in him. Coming on to pitch, Dan Quisenberry. In 1981, he was 1-4 with a 1.73 earned run average and 18 saves. All right, Heath at the plate. He's 1 for 3. McKay on deck. Billy Martin wants a base hit. The stretch by Quiz and the delivery. Hey, struck out Heath. 2 down now, and McKay comes to the plate. Dave McKay, 0 for 2 with a bunt. On deck is Peacholo. They could walk him and go after Peach, but they're not going to. The stretch by Quiz and the pitch to McKay is hit in the air to center. Texas leaguer, but caught by Amos Otis for out number 3. The Oakland A's get a man on in scoring position with 1 out and fail to move him. We go to the bottom of the 10th, and your scores, Oakland nothing and Kansas City nothing. Kelvin Moore is going to take over at first base in the bottom of the 10th because Bosetti ran for Spencer. So Kelvin Moore is the new first baseman. Mike Norris strolls out for the bottom of the 10th. And this will be Otis, McRae, and Hurdle coming up for Kansas City again. Any old kind of a run is going to win it for the Royals. The windup by Norris and the pitch to Otis. Swung on by Amos and popped up. Kelvin Moore in fair territory takes it for out number 1. Hal McRae at the plate. On deck is Hurdle. Norris kicks and deals. Swung on by McRae and hit to center and deep. Back to the track is Dwayne Murphy. He's got it for out number 2. Clint Hurdle up there now. The wind by Norris. Hurdle's 0 for 2. Wathen would be next. The pitch is a base hit for Hurdle. This goes to left field. Drops in front of Ricky. He gets it back in, and that'll bring up Wathen. The Royals may run for Hurdle here. If Wathen hits a gapper, they want him to score. But they're not going to. All right. Wathen 0 for 3. UL would be next. The stretch by Norris and the delivery. This is swung on by Wathen and bounced to short. This is Peacholo. He's going to go the short way to McKay covering second, and the Royals are out in the 10th. We go to inning number 11, and your score, the Athletics nothing and the Royals nothing. This is turning into a classic. All right. Peacholo, Henderson, and Murphy coming up in the Oakland 11th. The windup by Dan Quisenberry and the delivery. Swung on by Peacholo. This is going to be a base hit to left field. Drops in front of Willie Wilson. And the leadoff man is on for Oakland in the 11th. Here's Ricky. Not an accomplished bunter. Let's see if they want to send Peacholo. No, they don't. All right, Ricky up there. Quisenberry the stretch. The pitch to Henderson is swung on and hit to center. Not deep. Amos Otis makes the catch for out number 1. Peacholo retreats to first. And now Dwayne Murphy. 1 for 3 for Murphy. Drum right on deck. The stretch by Quisenberry, and the pitch to Murphy is drilled by Murphy. This is going to be a hit into right field. Charging hard is Hurdle. Peacholo stops at second. Oakland has 2 on with 1 out, and Drumright comes to the plate. The left-handed batting, DH for Billy Martin. Armas on deck. Drumright 0 for 4. Kansas City looking for a twin killing. The stretch and the delivery to Drumright. Hey, no, it's a base hit. A base hit for Drumright. It is into left field. Wilson charges it in good shape. Peacholo has to hold at third. The bases are loaded. It's Peacholo at third, Murphy at second, Drumright at first, and only 1 out. The Oakland infield moves in. Armas has had a rough day at the plate. He's 0 for 4 with a double play grounder and a strikeout. Wayne Gross is on deck. Infield in. Quisenberry, the stretch and the delivery is a ground ball that is hit to Akins at first. All right. Coming home is Peacholo. Akins fires to Wathan. And they get Peacholo at the plate. So, Armas will reach on the fielder's choice. Murphy goes to third. Drumright goes to second. Armas safe at first. Now there's 2 outs, and here is Gross. Kelvin Moore would be next. No place to put Wayne Gross. He's 0 for 4 with a pair of punch-outs. Not a good day for Wayne Gross either. All right, the stretch by Quiz and the delivery is swung on by Gross, and it's hit to short. UL goes the short way to Frank White, and the Athletics are turned away in the 11th. Are you kidding me? Oakland gets a man to third with 1 out, and they can't get him home. Billy Martin is taking out his frustrations on the water cooler. All right, bottom of the 11th, Mike Norris. 1 more inning for Mike. It'll be UL Washington, Willie Wilson, and Frank White in the Royals' 11th inning, unless they go to the bench, and I think they're going to go to the bench. Problem is, the Royals' bench, not good. So I guess they may as well stick with UL. UL is 0 for 3. Norris winds and delivers. And this is swung on by Washington, and it's going to be a fly ball to right. Can of corn for Tony Armas, and he's got it for out number 1. Willie Wilson comes to the plate. He's 2 for 4, but has been gunned down trying to steal twice. Norris kicks and delivers. Wilson hits one in the air to right. Armas in a step or two and makes the catch for out number 2. Frank White comes up. George Brett would be next. White 1 for 4. Norris deals. And it's a ground ball to Piccolo at short. A worm burner, except we're on AstroTurf. He throws to Kelvin Moore, and the Royals are done in the 11th. We go to the 12th, and your score: the Athletics nothing, and the Royals nothing. In the Oakland 12th, Kelvin Moore, Mike Heath, Hal McRae coming up. Rennie Martin is going to be the new pitcher. Quisenberry is done after an inning and 2/3. He allowed 3 hits, struck out a man, and did not allow any runs. Rennie Martin is on in 1981. He was in 29 games, all of them in relief. He was 4-5 with a 2.77 earned run average and 4 saves. All right, Kelvin Moore at the plate. The windup by Martin and the delivery to Moore. And Kelvin Moore draws a walk. Leadoff man aboard for Oakland. Mike Heath comes to the plate. The stretch by Rennie Martin and the delivery to Heath. Heath squares to bunt, and he gets it down. It's bunted back to Martin, who throws to Akins at first, and the sacrifice moves Kelvin Moore up to second base. Dave McKay comes up now with the go-ahead run in scoring position. Rob Piccolo on deck. No. On deck is Jeff Newman. He is going to bat for Piccolo, apparently. All right, it's McKay. Martin the stretch and the pitch to McKay. Hey, struck him out, 2 down. And that is going to bring up pinch hitter Jeff Newman. All right, Newman batting here in the 12th with Kelvin Moore at second base. Rennie Martin the stretch, the delivery. This is swung on by Newman, and it's a comebacker to Rennie. He gloves it, flips to Akins, and Oakland is done in the 12th. We go to the bottom of the 12th, and your score is Oakland nothing and Kansas City nothing. Shooty Babbitt is going to take over at second base for Oakland. And Dave McKay will move to the shortstop position. Mike Norris is done after 11 innings of shutout work. All right, so we'll tell you about Mike Norris's day. He goes 11 innings. He allows 6 hits, all of them singles. He walked 1, 2, 3 batters. He struck out 4. He allowed no runs. And he gives way here in the 12th inning to Dave Beard. A late season call-up, but active on the playoff roster. 1-1 with a 2.77 ERA and 3 saves in 8 games. So Beard, a hard thrower, a little on the wild side, but hard thrower, and he will face Brett, Akins, and Otis. Bottom of the 12th, any old kind of a run is going to win it for Kansas City. Dave Beard, the wind and the delivery. is swung on by Brett and hit to left. Can of corn for Ricky. He's got it for out number 1. Willie Aikens is up there now. Dave Beard kicks and deals. And Willie Aikens draws a walk. And that might get us a pinch runner. And I think it is. Coming out of the dugout to run for Willie Aikens is going to be infielder. Well, no. Coming out of the dugout to run for Aikens is going to be Cesar Geronimo. He had 6 stolen bases on the season. What a ball game. Scoreless in the bottom of the 12th. All right. They could send Geronimo. Let's see what they elect to do. The stretch by Beard and the delivery to Otis. They're not sending him. This is going to be a ballpark check that's going to be in play. Otis swings and drills one. This is going to get into the gap. Geronimo is on the run, and it's going to be Armas rifles the throw back in. They hold Geronimo at third. Oh, my goodness. A double for Otis. Geronimo stops at third. Now the infield and the outfield have to move in to Little League depth for Oakland. McRae is up. Hurdle is on deck. Boy, do you want to pitch to Hal McRae with the game on the line? I don't think you do. They're going to walk him. And they're going to lose the platoon advantage, but they avoid pitching to McRae. Now it's Clint Hurdle. Waffen is on deck. The bases are loaded. The only man that matters is the pinch runner, Geronimo, at third. Geronimo is at third. Otis is at second. McRae is at first. The infield is in. And, of course, the outfield is in. Beard looking for a punch-out. Hurdle looking for contact of any kind. The stretch by Beard and the delivery. And it is hit in the air to left. Geronimo. Henderson retreats, makes the catch barely. Geronimo tags and comes home, and the Kansas City is going to walk it off 1-0 in 12 innings. Let's give you the totals on this one. Wow, what a game. All right, for the homestanding and victorious Kansas City Royals, 1 run on 7 base hits, and they committed, I don't think they committed any errors. No, they did not. Oakland, no runs, 7 base hits, and they committed no errors. The winning pitcher is Rennie Martin. The loss goes to Dave Beard. What a ball game. 12 innings of incredible pitching between Leonard and Norris. We now travel to Oakland for game number 2 of the series. It'll be Langford and Gura. If Oakland loses, they are out of the playoffs. All right. Wow. Thank you for being with me. Hope you enjoyed it. I loved it. Don't forget to check out channel membership. Your link is in the description for this video, along with the link to Payoff Pitch Baseball, the Sideline Strategies website. For now, from Kansas City, your final. The Royals won, the Athletics nothing. We'll see you soon with National League 1981 action. So long, everybody.